Friends, it's Timon, and we're doing a new video on Blaha. Unfortunately, we're not adding any music, Loverboy music, but we're gonna react to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slaves video. Man, JasonBlaha says strength is measured in time, not pounds. Louie Simmons, Louie Simmons was a bum. You know that he was a bum.
Louie Simmons used to say strength is measured in time, not pounds. Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this.
What do these people really know about strength, man? They all lift concentrically. They're scared to lift eccentrically because, bam, they're weak. They don't know what real strength is because they never got bigger and stronger. Here's a question. What makes you stronger at eccentric exercises? Muscle. It builds muscle and force production. Not only does it build these sarcomeres in series, but it builds it in parallel and in series. And it gives you more motor unit recruitment, and it gives you more force production, and it gives you muscle. Unlike conventional lifting and concentric lifting. Conventional lifting, full range of motion, at 0. I give it, the score is at 0. And guess what? What Blaha does, concentric lifting, at 0. You understand me, man? There's no muscle. There's no recruiting more motor units. Man, there's no in series or parallel. There's nothing. There's even a loss in series. So what good is this? What good is this sport? Powerlifting.
Okay. If you guys would, though, please remember to click like down below the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, follow me and subscribe if you haven't. And
Blaha, I give you a like, my brother. But, brother, you got to take me off your list, bro. You know, like the naughty boy list, the Santa Claus. He has a list, broski, you know. He takes the boys and girls, he puts them on there. You got to take me off the naughty list, dude. Come on, man. Be a pal. Be a friend.
Please leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much.
I am.
So, onto this topic, there's a lot to be said about this.
I'm making a video on you. Never mind a comment. I'm making a video on you, dude.
And people misinterpret this line. I've even have a good friend of mine.
Yes, I tend to misinterpret these things myself sometimes, you know. You know the reason why you don't remember anything when you wake up? Because you've been in a coma the last 8 years, dude. That's why.
Like a powerlifting meet director, another master's lifter, someone I've known a long time. We've actually had a good online relationship as a friend, so we've chatted regularly over the years.
Blaha's having friendly relations with these people, like Louie Simmons. My God, he just knows everybody. He's popular.
He even called me up when he was directing a meet.
Holy shit, he called you up. Was he asking you on a date or what?
My lifters was to check in with me on some stuff.
Oh, here comes the 500-pound concentric squat, bro. That neck's gonna stick all the way out with that booty sticking all the way back. Assume the position.
So yeah, I mean, good guy all around. You know,
here he comes. I bet you watch. Assume the position.
Up to me and says, you know, Jason, powerlifting is not a speed sport. It's not a speed strength.
Right there, Dodski. Assume the position. Listen, man, if you drop the soap, you definitely don't want to pick it up in its position, bro. That kind of looks funny. You squatting on boyfriend here, practicing with boyfriend?
For that line doesn't make any sense. And it kind of let me know that people made that assumption that that's what Louie was talking about. When in that...
Well, we wouldn't want to make any assumptions now, would we?
Was only part of it. That's the thing. You take someone like Louie Simmons, innovator, brilliant man, really a genius when you look at it.
What are some of your limiting?
Absolutely genius.
Yeah, he sure was a genius, all right. He injected steroids in him. What a genius, man. My God. Does it take genius to do that? I don't know.
Innovator with an insanely ridiculous, abnormal thought process.
Right.
But he brought so much to the strength world. Like, he's left an enormous legacy everywhere.
He did.
It's pretty much bled into every profession.
A legacy of torn muscle, biceps, pecs, shoulders, and torn ligaments and tendons. He's definitely left a legacy behind of reckless reckless legacy.
Sport on earth at this point. And he uttered that line, and people didn't understand the multiple meanings of it. The multiple meanings of it. And it's so much deeper. Yes, in part, he was talking about the explosive nature, force generation.
I love that picture when he's doing this squat here with this. My God.
Dynamic work. But that's
I
not
don't even know what that is. That a squat or a good morning? I really can't tell.
really entirely what he meant. And one day he explained it to one point, but then you could take everything that Louie
And
talked
this sumo squat stuff is really funny with the chains.
about it, you could take it in a whole deeper direction. But let's go with the first point. He's like, the reason it matters is because you can only produce maximum force for so long, and it's around 3.5 seconds.
See what I mean? How does eccentric exercise make you stronger? How does it make you stronger? Building muscle, force production, sarcomere series parallel, and recruiting more motor units. How does concentric make you stronger? It gives you more force production, the nervous system, some androgen receptors for force production. That's it. You'll accumulate more of these. You'll accumulate androgen receptors too, as well, and they have that eccentric. But that's all it gives you there. It gives you some androgen receptors for the hormones to bind, giving you maximal force production and recruiting motor unit, and that's about it. Going against gravity. Well, that's it. Wow.
Okay? In other words, particularly anything other than a deadlift. Right? Deadlift.
It's not a carryover to any sport, but eccentric exercise is a carryover to every sport. When you build type 2 muscle fibers, bro, in series and in parallel, and more force production and everything else that goes along with it.
Most people can grind a little better, but how often do you see someone make a true 1 rep max that lasts more than 3.5 seconds? Usually at that 3.5 second mark, either someone slowly grinds through or they get stapled. In other words, and even then, they have to grind. Notice it's a crazy grind. So time a bunch of really heavy world record level lifts or national level lifts, right? Go watch them and film them and time them.
Yeah, I've watched those national level lifts. They're fake.
Stuff every day in and day out in his gym.
They fake it.
Coached over 100 world record holders.
Okay, if you say so.
What do you notice at about 3.2 to 3.5 seconds?
I don't.
If they make the lift, it turns into an immediate shift in speed.
It
The
does?
bar grinds insanely slow from there.
Oh. Okay.
It grinds insanely slow.
What a shit sport.
In other words, you're no longer producing maximum force.
You're not, are
Right?
you?
You are hopefully now at an easy part of the lift. Like you've got the weight moving, you produce your force.
How many sports that you engage in that actually builds muscle? What would make somebody think that a sport would build a muscle? All these crazy people telling you, hey man, if you get it stronger in this sport called powerlifting, you're gonna get it bigger. But in bodybuilding, it's not a sport because eccentric exercise compromises sport of performance. How can that be a sport? If you're building muscle, how could you build muscle in a sport? Muscle compromises sport of performance if you're building it because it has to be damaged to go through a remodeling. You have to remodel muscle. You understand me? It doesn't just appear out of the blue somewhere because you lifted something heavy off the floor.
You're now at the easiest part of the lift, and if you're grinding slow, if it moved faster than you're grinding slow,
Oh, yeah? Yeah, really? Yeah?
production is dropped dramatically.
It is? Force production is dropped automatically? Look at all these rubber bands. He loves going against gravity. He's at Mach 1 right now, going out of the atmosphere. Look at Blaha. He's getting ready to fly out of the atmosphere.
You can't produce maximum force longer than that. And if you try to, it won't work.
You can eccentrically, you can produce a lot more. There's less energy involved. You're not exhausting yourself because it ain't a sport, bro. Get it? You absorb energy because you're going with gravity. Duh. You're trying to run up a stairwell to get to the top. You're just going to get tired doing these exercises. It makes you tired. Number one, it's endurance because it exhausts you running up a stairwell, going in the opposite direction of gravity. That's number one. Number two, it's based on performance because it doesn't compromise sportive performance. You can come in every day because that's why it's an endurance sport. You can come in every day and do it. You're adapted. There's no more adaptations in the eccentric for you. Even if you do conventional lifting, which is full range of motion, and then there's concentric lifting and full range of motion. That's considered conventional lifting, okay? It's garbage because you're adapted to your exercise. You're just wasting your time.
Like 30 seconds again before you can produce it again, even for speed work.
Sure.
Okay, that's what they figured. We know this for every sport, though.
See, we know this for every sport, but bodybuilding is not a sport. It can't be. It's impossible.
Right? Even a boxer. Watch them once they start really throwing hard.
Think about
punches.
it. Ask yourself this question. Is bodybuilding a sport? Where does it say that bodybuilding, what would it be? What would it be categorized as? Bodybuilding sport? You're building your body. How can it be a sport if you're building your body? It's based on damaging your body. That's how you build it. So how the fuck could it be a fucking sport? If you're fucking damaging your muscles and it compromises sportive performance, how the fuck could bodybuilding be a fucking sport? That is retarded.
They've got to burst, and beyond those number of seconds, it drops, and they can't redo it again until they've recuperated. Their nervous system needs a moment to re-burst it again. Okay? But this applies to lifting. What he meant is, if you don't make the lift in 3.5 seconds, you're probably not going to make it.
See, man, it's all based on performance. Again, here we go. First, he's bodybuilding. He says he's bodybuilding. Then he keeps talking about sports and everything. Bodybuilding's not sport. I don't know what he's talking about. And powerlifting is a derivative of bodybuilding. It's stolen, and they just do everything concentrically so they don't compromise sportive performance because it's a sport. Everybody tells you in every sport that you go to, whether it's running, I don't know, throwing things, whatever you're doing there, they're always worried about people getting damaged because the eccentric damages you. They don't want that because it compromises what? Sportive performance. You could lose in a race running if you get these micro tears in your legs. You understand me? If anywhere in that sport you get micro tears, you'll be weakened and you'll be slow and you'll be fucked. They know this. Every intelligent coach knows that. They tell you to watch out for the eccentric because it's damaging. That's why it causes micro damages. So you lose your range of motion, your force production goes down, a bunch of stuff. It's not a sport.
Unless you're just amazing.
It's based on an adaptation principle. It adapts by growing more muscle to protect you from getting any more damage. That's the idea. So sometimes coaches will put you through some eccentric exercises so you won't get damaged, so you won't compromise your performance in that sport. But what they don't know is if you build more of these myofibrillars that do protect you, they enhance your performance because along with them comes fucking nuclei. They enhance your performance. The nuclei, the myofibrillars, everything. They enhance you. They make you better, faster, bigger, better, stronger, faster. Strength, power, speed, and performance, broski. But powerlifting, it doesn't do that. You understand me? It's not a carryover to arm wrestling or running fast. If anything, it'll make you slower because it's associated with a loss in sarcomere in series. You understand me? Conventional lifting is associated, if you're adapted, it's associated with a loss of sarcomere, and so is powerlifting, okay? So that would compromise your speed and performance. You understand me? You'll be slower. You'll box slower. You'll run slower. That's why when I see these stupid fucking channels where you see this guy, he power lifts, and then he's a runner. He's a sprinter. Why the fuck would you power lift as a sprinter? That makes absolutely no sense. All your speed and velocity and strength, power, speed, and performance come from the sarcomere in series. Those are the most important. Those ones are way more important than the ones in parallel. Trust me.
Grinding, and you've gotten completely through any possible sticking points that you normally have. Okay? You're out of your sticking point. If you don't make it through your sticking point, you will miss the grind. Wherever your personal sticking point is on the lift, if you haven't blasted past it in about 3.2 to 3.5 seconds, you're going to fail the lift.
Yeah, okay.
Every time, no matter how strong you are.
Okay.
Okay?
Have a look at this push-up equipment. Absolutely.
You are. Okay?
Sure.
But it's measured in time, not pounds, because you can produce maximum force at long. And the same thing when you really do get good at speed work, you are producing maximum force once you practice it. You
Maximum
do it in 3.5
force.
seconds or so. Maybe a hair less, depending on the person, depending on the movement pattern.
Oh, shit.
Okay? That's what he's talking about. And so therefore he thought in terms of that stuff when dealing with the speed work. Right? Wanting it to be inside those windows. But he's also looking at the maxes. Okay? But there's another factor. Strength is measured in time, not pounds.
It's measured. How is strength measured? So let's say, forget about this concentric lifting. I lift eccentrically. How do we measure strength eccentrically? How do we measure that? Well, we know we can lift heavier eccentrically than concentrically, right? We also build muscle because that's how it adapts. How does concentric adapt to your exercise? Force production. Okay, force production. How does eccentric adapt? Force production, sarcomere series, parallel and all this kind of stuff, whatever, nuclei and all that. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? You know, androgen receptors, motor unit recruitment, more, yada, 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 yada. That's a lot of stuff to adapt to. Why wouldn't it be superior to concentric? See what I mean? And it removes senescent cells, wears off myogenic decline. It reserves more satellite cells for future regenerative demands. It extends your telomeres so you live longer, a bunch of stuff. If you were dying on your deathbed and you did one bout of eccentric exercise, you wouldn't be dying because it wouldn't allow you to die because it would be going through repair and remodeling. It's going to increase the cell count. It's going to increase the satellite cells and everything, that satellite cell pool for further regenerative demands. So how could you possibly die? There's people say, how do you wear off death? I said this before in a video. Let's say your body was preparing you for death and you figured it out. You go, oh yeah, it looks like I'm going to die because you stop eating and you start sleeping a lot and whatever. How do you wear that off? It's really easy. Do one bout of eccentric exercise and bam, bro, you revived yourself. Get it? You literally can come out of the brinks of death. You can wear off every kind of disease doing eccentric exercise. It can wear off every disease, bro. I already have fixed myself practically, my back, my nerve problems, a lot of stuff with eccentric exercises. It's regenerated my knees and shit. They're so much better than before. I'm just so much better. My bones, the micro tears that you get in your bones doing eccentric exercises, there's more remodeling in the bones, man. My bones feel so much better now. Even my teeth are harder. My teeth are better. Just everything, dude. So it's so superior to concentric. Why would you waste your time there to perform for other slaves? Performing slaves. Do what's best for you, not for other people. You'll never be happy if you perform for other slaves. Get it? Do it for yourself.
How long does it take to get really strong? How long does it take for you to reach your potential?
Yeah. I've been hearing that forever. What does it take to be strong? What does it take to be strong? I gotta be strong and all that. And you're just a performing slave. For other slaves that are out there, you're never building your muscle. You're aging. You're falling apart. You're not gonna build any sarcomeres. You're not gonna build up your bone mineral density through these micro tears or anything like that because you're doing an inferior lift called concentric. It's inferior in every way. You're just a slave lifting against gravity. That's crazy. Skating uphill. Why would you skate uphill? Oh, I'm going to skate uphill. I'm going to try to get what the guys get in eccentric exercise. So I'm going to skate uphill. I'm going to try to get it skating uphill, whether it takes me 100 years or 200. But I'm going to keep trying. Impossible, bro. You can't get in what you get in eccentric doing concentric exercises. Impossible.
Ooh, I mean, John Hack's been doing it for decades, almost. He's gotten stronger. It was already.
Oh, he has he? He never got stronger. He got better at lifting, but he himself never got stronger because he got a small, weak body.
World level elite lifter continued to chip away.
Whatever.
Isn't this true for most lifters over time until we start getting older?
Yeah, okay.
Is that continual upward undulation. It's about the long term. It is about the
Undulating.
long-term adaptations and the training and the commitment that you're making to it. All right?
What adaptations are you making there? None. Zero. You're making what? What? Neurological adaptations. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Wow. That's interesting.
It's also talked about, another way to put it, Jim Wendler said this once in a podcast with some strength coaches, like some CrossFit strength coaches. They were saying, you want to get really strong? Squat heavy once a week for the next 10 years and you'll get strong. Okay.
Well, squatting, if you squat eccentrically, yeah, it'll make you very strong. But if you don't squat eccentrically, you'll just be good at lifting and you'll be weak and slow. Yeah, I'm not joking.
Again, a profound statement. And they also said it doesn't even matter all the other stuff because you'll figure the rest out. As long as you consistently hit that heavy squat every week for 10 years straight, you'll be consistent and you'll figure the rest out as you go.
Sure.
As long as you do that part, it'll all kind of fall in place usually. Again, strength is measured in time, not pounds.
Strength is measured in pounds. It is measured in pounds.
Profound, absolutely profound statement.
When you weigh yourself on the scale and you gain more myofibulars, it's measured in pounds. That's how it's measured. This is the physical world. Everything is physical. You get bigger, you get stronger. It's really simple. See what I mean? You get stronger. Not I get better at lifting a heavy weight. You get stronger. Or you lift a heavy weight and you stay weak, your body.
When you look at all of it, the force production in, how long can the nervous system fire?
See? Force production, how long can the nervous system fire? Doesn't talk about anything about myofibular growth, sarcomere series, parallel, none of these things, nuclei, nothing. Just for a nervous system, force production.
How long can you consistently put in the work?
Yes, how long can you consistently be a lifting slave until you completely collapse?
Year.
Yeah.
This is all about time.
Sure, it is. It's all about time.
Reminds me
We got lots of time, yeah.
of an analogy I made a long time ago about bricks on a wall and the fight versus entropy with training adaptation. I made that a long time ago. People were like, what?
Yeah, it's a training adaptation, yes.
It's crazy, but by God, it's accurate. All right, that's the idea. Understand
Yes, that's the idea.
these models.
Uh-huh.
But again, because you're also dealing with entropy, strength is measured in time, not pounds. All right, guys, but that's really
Okay.
all I have to say.
Whatever you say. You got the opposite. I'll see you in the next one. Touch, think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. That was funny shit.